Hello students, welcome to the second chapter, that is endogenetic movements, part 1. So students, as we know that the surface of the earth is constantly changing. These changes occur under the influence of several forces which work inside as well as outside the earth's surface. Those forces which act from within the earth are known as the endogenetic forces. Hence, endogenetic processes are the processes that shape the land by forces coming from within the earth. So, our learning objectives for today will be introduction, internal movements and its classification. Internal movements over here means the endogenetic movements, the movements which are from within the earth. Internal movements are then classified into two categories, that is slow movements and sudden movements. But today we are looking forward for slow movements. So, what is slow movements, children? Some changes in the earth crust are so slow that it takes hundreds of years for it to become noticeable. They are called as slow movements. And slow movements have been classified into two categories, that is, first one, mountain building, creating folding and faulting, and second, continent building leads to the creation of continents, plateaus, and highlands. Before beginning with the content that is mentioned in the chapter, let us understand how the earth is formed. As we have already studied the interior of the earth in standard 8th. So, as you look at the diagram, we know that the upper layer of the earth is called the crust. And as we go in the interior of the earth, we have mantle. Yes, mantle can be divided into two layers, that is the upper and the lower mantle. The upper layer is more in the liquid state. Here, there is magma chambers. It is through these chambers that magma comes out on the earth's surface during volcanic eruption. And below the mantle, we have the outer core and inner core. So, students, in this chapter, we are going to study about the different movements which are occurring in the interior of the earth. And because of these movements, what are its effects seen on the surface of the earth, that we are going to see. So students, we have your activity. Try this out. Arrange your notebook on each other with chalk, duster, sharpener, eraser on them as shown in the picture. Quickly take out the notebook without affecting the others as shown. Now repeat the first step again and give a slight push to the structure. So, what did you observe, students? See, as shown in the picture, there are few books kept on the table and few objects which are placed on it. Students, please assume book as the earth and all the materials as buildings. So, if I try to remove any book, the object kept on the book will fall. So, students, what did we observe? We observed that if there is a shake or a tremor or any movement inside the earth's interior, its effects will be seen on the earth crust. Generally, the movements in the earth's interior occur in the upper layer of the mantle. Earthquakes and volcanoes occur because of the instability in the interior of the earth, and this instability is created due to the movements occurring in the earth's interior. So students, you can see here hot magma which is continuously floating in the mantle. The mantle is about 2,900 kilometers thick. Tremendous energy is released by radioactive materials in the mantle. These energy waves travel from one place to another. Due to such a flow of energy, instability is caused in the mantle. Now students, before going to another slide, just wanted to tell you that in this mantle we have radioactive materials like, for example, potassium, uranium, thorium, and these are thought to be the three main sources of the heat in the earth's interior. Radioactive elements always react with each other, they collide with each other. During this, large amount of energy is released. So students, earth also has its some limitations, right? But if it is not controlled by it, it will automatically release. Yes, so this energy, it will automatically release this energy, and because of these there is waves caused, and these waves coming to the surface of the earth is responsible for shaking, and that is how we get our earthquakes and volcanoes. The internal movements have been then classified into three categories on the basis of velocity, on the basis of direction, on the basis of landforms. Now, on the basis of velocity, that is the speed of the energy waves which are traveling. If the speed is very fast, the waves will reach the earth more faster, and its effects on the earth will be very disastrous. The velocity is then classified into slow movements which are occurring continuously, like the formation of mountains and continents, and sudden movements in the form of events like earthquakes and volcanoes. Next, on the basis of direction, that is which direction, that is horizontal movements and upward and downward movements. On the basis of landforms, that is continent building movements creating continents, plateaus and highlands, and mountain building movements creating folding and faulting. Slow movements. Some changes in the earth crust are so slow that it takes hundreds of years for it to become noticeable. They are called as slow movements. Students, the effects of slow movements can be seen in the form of formation of mountains and continents on the earth crust. As I mentioned about slow movements in the earlier slide, here is the video for the same. The movements which bring about the changes in the earth crust gradually taking hundreds and millions and thousands of years, which cover a period much longer than a human lifespan, are called as slow movements. These movements act on the earth crust either vertically or horizontally. Mountain building movements orogenic. Mountain formation refers to the geological process that underline the formation of mountains, that is creating folding and faulting. Students, folding means due to the movements occurring in the mantle of the earth, the crust faces pressure and gets folded. This process is called folding. And faulting, because of interior movements of the earth, rocks undergo tensions and develop fractures. Such fractures are called as faults. Students, here there is an activity again. Take a 30 centimeter long strip. Place your hands on both the ends of the strips. Move both the hands towards each other, giving pressure on the strip. So students, as you see, the strip starts getting folded, right? Students, over here assume that the strip here is the earth crust, and the pressure which we are putting it is from the interior of the earth. As a result, the strip moves and folds are formed. This work is called compression. As a result, the strip was moved by placing hands on both the ends. The work performed on the strip at that time is called compression. Pressure was given on the center of the strip from both the ends. As a result, the strip moves and folds are formed. Similarly, due to the movements occurring in the mantle of the earth, the crust faces pressure and gets folded. This process is called folding. Forces of compression are the forces which push the rock strata against a hard plane from both sides. The compressional forces leads to bending of rock layers and thus leads to the formation of fold mountains. So students, what are fold mountains? When the energy is transferred from the interior of the earth, because of these energy waves, the pressure working towards each other and in horizontal direction, the layers of the soft rocks form fold. If the pressure is very high, large scaled folds are formed. Large scale means many scales of folds are formed. As a result, the surface of the earth gets uplifted and fold mountains are formed. As I mentioned about the fold mountains in the earlier slide, this is the example for better understanding. This is the example of fold mountain, students. Now we will just see the formation of the fold mountains. They are formed when the layers of the earth crust are folded by compression. You can make your own fold mountains. You can lay some hand towels, 10 hand towels on a flat surface and place 2 shoe boxes on each side as shown here. Then push the shoe boxes towards the center. Hand towel fold mountains are ready. Okay students? Try this out students. This is the example of the Aravalli Mountains. These are the old fold mountains. It was formed over 250 million years ago and has gentle slopes and low altitudes due to weathering over time. And this is the example of Alps of Europe, the Himalayas of India. It is the young fold mountains comparatively recently formed about 25 million years ago. They are rugged. Rugged means rough and lofty means high. They comprise the world's highest mountain ranges. These are major fold mountains of the world: Andes of South America, Rockies of North America, Aravallis of India, Alps of Europe, Himalayas of India. Students, here again we have an activity. Take a long strip of thin paper, hold one end of the paper in your right hand, hold the other end in your left hand. Put both the end away from each other. Now students, what did you observe? We observed that the paper gives way in the center, right? That is tension created. The paper tears apart, right? So this work is called the tension. So students, as I showed you the example in the last slide, this is what exactly happens. Forces of tension work horizontally but in opposite directions. Under the operation of intense tensional forces, the rock strata gets broken or fractured, which results in the formation of cracks and fractures in the crust. So tension is created when you pull both the ends away from each other. Similarly, when movements occur in opposite direction to each other, tension is generated and faults are formed in the earth crust. Students, before understanding the concept of block mountains, we know that the displacement of rock upward or downward from the original position along such a fracture is termed as faulting, right? Faulting results in the formation of well-known relief features, that is the block mountain and the rift valley. So now students, what do you mean by block mountains? Block mountains is when the part of the earth crust in between two parallel fault is uplifted. It looks like a block. So this is known as the block mountains. Students, when a part of the earth crust in between two parallel fault is lifted, it looks like a block. So such a landform is called as the block mountain. The hilltops of the block mountains are flat. For example, Black Forest Mountains in Europe, the Meghalaya Plateau of India has also been formed in similar way. These are the examples of block mountain. So students, before understanding the concept of rift valley, just wanted to tell you that when the horizontal movements on the earth's surface act in opposite direction, it causes tension on the rocks in the earth crust, right? So when the tension increases, fractures develop in the rocks and these lead to the formation of faults. Consequently, rocks on both the ends slide and the continuity in the layers of the rock is not found. So students, what is rift valley? Rift valley is formed by sinking of rock strata lying between two almost parallel fault. Okay students? Yes students? So the rift valley is formed as a result of sinking of a portion of the crust between cracks on the surface of the earth. Okay? You can see here students. See, there are 3 stages in the formation of rift valley. The first stage is when the layers of the rock are subjected to tension or stress. The second stage, faults or cracks develop in the layers and the central block begins to subside. The third stage is after subsidence, a depression with steep sides is formed. This is a rift valley. For example, you can try this out, student. You can make your own rift valley using a eraser. Take a long eraser, use a pencil to draw fault lines and use a cutter or a blade to cut the eraser across the lines drawn, and place the pieces of the long eraser together to make the eraser whole again. Apply a little pressure on the corner pieces and lift the whole eraser. Slowly pull the corner and you can see how the land in the middle of the fault lines subsides and the rift valley is formed. Some examples of rift valley are the rift valley of river Narmada in India, the great rift valley of Africa, and the Rhine river rift valley of Europe. Continent building movements, epirogenic, vertical movements are mainly associated with the formation of continents and plateaus. They are also called as epirogenic. Epirogenic movement is strictly vertical movement of continent and it acts along the radius of the earth. Due to this process, sea level rise and falls and new plate materials are modified. Students, slow movements occur towards the center or from the earth's center towards the earth crust. You can see here, students, it is occurring from the earth's center. So, because of these movements, a vast part of the earth crust is uplifted. You can see here, students, in the picture, or gets subsided. Similarly, when the part of the earth crust is uplifted, that is, you can see here, children, above the main sea level, continents are formed. Therefore, these movements are called as continent building movements. If the originally continent portion of the crust subsides below the sea level, it forms a part of the seabed. As shown in the picture, you can see a seabed. Okay. Before going to the another slide, students, I will like to show you a small video about the formation of continents, which is not mentioned in your textbook but just for your general knowledge. Thousands and million years ago, the earth was in this structure. The supercontinent was called as Pangaea, meaning earth. It was just one single piece of landmass and was surrounded by a huge water body called Panthalassa, meaning all water. According to Alfred Wegener, he argued that across 200 million years ago, the continent was drifted apart into two continents, which was called as Laurasia and Gondwana land. These two continents was then called as northern and southern continent, as one was in north and the other was in south. After that, Laurasia and Gondwana continued to break down into more smaller continents that we see today. Thus, today, students, we have 7 continents, that is North America, South America, Africa, Europe, Asia, Australia and Antarctica. In this way, continents were formed. So students, today we learned that because of the movements below the earth's surface, natural events occur like slow movements which is occurring continuously leads to the formation of mountains and continents. These internal movements are then classified on the basis of velocity, direction and landforms. Mountain building movements leads to compression and tension, and because of compression, fold mountains are formed, and we saw that fold mountains are formed when the layers of the earth crust are folded by compression. Yes, and because of tensions, block mountains and rift valleys are formed, and block mountains are formed when the part of the earth crust between two parallel fault is lifted, and rift valley is formed when the fractures is developed side by side in the earth crust. The land in between two fractures subsides. Okay, continent building movement, a vast part of the earth crust is uplifted or gets subsides. When the part of the earth crust uplifted above the main sea level, continents are formed. Therefore, these movements are called as continent building movements. I hope everyone has understood the part 1 of the chapter. Thank you very much for all the online sources for your help. Thank you.